So what we're going to do now is show you reel. While we're here, I love this choice here of having them come up with the mouth open.
Hmm.
Fascinating. I love this choice, and then like closing the mouth.
Well, this scene was like super important to the directors. This was like the introduction of Mushu, right? So they wanted this scene to be, I don't know, like the best Mushu scene in the whole movie. And it was also one of my very first scenes that I animated. Not the first, but one of them. And so it was really intimidating to me too, because they just said, in the storyboards that Chris Sanders did, I think it was, he just kind of he falls in, and then smoke fills the screen, and then it dissipates, and he's just standing there, and he starts saying his line, "I live," and he's got
Oh,
this real monster, kind of a hunchback kind of a pose, and it was funny, and it got laughs and all, but I started really thinking about it and going, well, how's a better way to introduce him than just the smoke dissipates and he's standing there? And so, and because and I kept listening to the Eddie dialogue of how he like stretched it out like this, he was like this monster, right? And so somebody, and I can't remember if it was somebody at Disney or I don't know what it was, but it dawned on me that there was some kind of a Dracula movie. I started thinking about him rising out of the smoke. And then I started thinking, wasn't there some Dracula movie that did that? And so I started asking. There's this old black and white Dracula movie called Nosferatu. Um, and he comes out of his crypt like that. It just sort of like stands up, you know. Even now, it's a scary looking kind of a Dracula. Um, but anyway, that's where it comes from. It's from the Nosferatu. That was my inspiration. Was him just sort of rising, kind of mystically.
that is so cool. And you're employing this amazing cheat here, which we struggle with in CG, but his lower mouth is absurdly shorter
Yeah,
than when he closes his mouth, and then all of a sudden it grows to almost the same length.
and it's probably the only time in the movie I did that. I can't remember. You know, also his teeth are real sharp, and you know, it's really just for effect. And you're right, there are a lot of cheats that we can do in 2D that you just can't do in 3D. And again, look, see, he's straight as a board. You know, I never did that again in the movie. I even changed his design. I don't know if you noticed that, but in this opening couple scenes of Mushu, his design's a little different than after he breaks out of it. Because here he is just trying to be this kind of this, you know, he still thinks he's that big dragon, that protector, you know, like the great stone dragon.
Yeah.
He thinks he's that, but he's been demoted and he doesn't really realize it yet. So I changed his design in here and made his pupils are like snake eyes. His you know, I made his fingers more blade like. See it? Yeah, see his pupils. And I mean, it's subtle. It's just little things, but the fins on his back are real sharp. And when he gets when he gets yelled at by the great ancestor, that kind of all softens and goes away because now he's just this meek little dragon.
Well, that's just because this needs a little spit, that's all. Let me shine this up for you. I can see you look. You look so pretty.
Now watch this, Dave. Here's something in CG. I had to draw that reflection. You guys wouldn't have to do that, would you?
No, it didn't even, it didn't even cross my mind when I see
I
stuff
know.
like that.
People don't think about it. I had to animate that on that surface and kind of warp it in the drawing and everything. I didn't manipulate it in the computer. It's drawn that way.
What I love about this shot here, you picked up on this funny inflection in his voice, and you made a correspondingly funny facial pose, so you could really read it. It's so goofy.
I'll
And
shine that up for you.
yeah, and he's got this funny little inflection here.
Let me shine this up for you. I can see you look. You look so pretty.